Welcome to PlayBranson, where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. I'm your host, Chris Meyer. Today's show is brought to you by iBranson.com, where you can find lots of information about Branson shows and attractions. If you're looking for the latest show schedules, go to iBranson.com. My guest today is Cadence Miller and Matthew Boyce. They're with a new show called Once Upon a Fairytale. The show just opened on May 17th, and I had Cadence on the show back in 2018, so it's been a while since she's been here. So I'm really looking forward to talking to her and Matthew about this new show. Summer is upon us. It's time for summer vacations, and Branson is the place to be. Music's in the air, roller coasters are going, the lakes are ready for your next lake adventure. The Ozarks have the best golf courses, and we've of course got tons of shopping as well. Did you know that Branson is in one of the top 25 tourist destinations in the United States according to TripAdvisor? And when TripAdvisor puts out this list, it's a big deal. Most of those tourist destinations are often big cities, not small towns, but Branson is one of those towns built for vacation. Maybe at your home thinking, where should I go on summer vacation? Well, I've got a suggestion for you, Branson, Missouri. We'll be back in just a moment with Cadence and Matthew, so hang tight.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson, where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. And on today's show, I have two folks that have actually been on previous PlayBranson shows, but it's been a while. So I have Cadence Miller and Matthew Boyce. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Excited to be back.
I know it's been like 2018.
Yes, long, many, many years ago.
Like, that's crazy. Now, Matthew, I was on a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But welcome back to you as well. And you guys have got a new show called Once Upon a Fairytale.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk about this new show. We always love talking about new shows and promoting new shows in Branson. But before we do that, we want people to know, like, what's your background and what have you been doing in the musical industry?
Well, taking it way back, studied music theater in college. That's kind of where everything kicked off. I was a late bloomer in the theater world, but came to Branson around 2014-15. And was first a part of The Little Mermaid when it was here. So that was an exciting adventure, to say the least. And
it didn't last long, but it wasn't because it wasn't good.
Right.
It was because of other things.
Yes, it was a fantastic show. The talent was the best that Branson has had to offer. And it actually was a huge inspiration in starting Fairytale, because thinking back, saw the numbers, saw how much people enjoyed it around town. So it was unfortunate that it ended. But from there, just got into the Branson market with Thank You for the Music, Modern Tribute to ABBA, California Dreamin', the Beach Boys tribute, and just kind of went off from there. And I've been back and forth ever since.
So growing up, you said you wanted to be a performer.
Yes.
And you went to college for that.
Yes.
And then, but before you came to Branson, you did some other stuff as well.
I did. Well, it was kind of in between my stay in Branson. I came here and then I left for a few years. I did a lot of Six Flags opportunities, and then traveled with a Disney kids show, Octonauts. So did a lot of stuff in between Branson stays.
Yeah.
And then, Branson just sucks you back in. So now I'm back.
There you go. There you go. Matthew, tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so I actually moved to Branson in 2020 when the world shut down. And I really was just coming to stay a summer. I was with a couple of friends and we thought it'd be really cool to start a Branson show. And we were doing some road shows. I had just gotten off of a long-term tour playing Elvis in a show and working on my own productions. And came to Branson just for stay for a couple months and ended up falling in love with the area. And one show led to another. And upon just auditioning and meeting people, I ended up at a point where I was doing 20 some odd shows a week. And between 2020 to now, I've had my hand producing with Chris at the Americana. And we worked together on shows like Awesome 80s, British Invasion, Elvis, Story of a King, which ended up winning 3 accolades last year for Best New Show and Best Matinee Show in Branson, and now Fairy Tale. So really just kind of got bit really early when I got here and got sucked right into the Branson thing, and I haven't turned away since.
So let's just talk about the act of putting together a new show. Like that's, some people would say that's just crazy to do, right?
It is.
And so talk to me about how you got to that point.
So I grew up a Disney fan, as most kids in the 90s and really any kid is. And I don't know, I was sitting in my apartment with one of my lifelong friends, who is another Branson performer, James Redden. And we both have always just had this dream of directing, producing, but it does kind of seem like a very far off goal. So we, just for fun, put together our dream Disney show. He shared the same Disney passion. And we actually met up with Matthew. We were all working together in the 80s. We met up with him and just for fun pitched him, you know, what if we did this? And Matthew had mentioned that the Americana was looking for a kids show. We had a morning slot open. You guys should pitch the idea to Chris. And so we did. And one thing led to another. And next thing I knew, we were signing contracts. And I said, okay, well, I guess we're responsible for a show now. And Matthew stepped in with us. He was part of our creative team from the beginning. James has actually left the production. Matthew now stepped in as musical director, tech director, and performer. And one thing just led to another. It just grew and grew from there. And then, of course, I've had to learn the business side of owning a show and operating a small business, employing 6 people plus, costuming, lighting, luckily, and music he is taking care of. I don't have to learn that, but it's been a ton. It's been a lot to learn, but it's been so much fun to see things start at nothing, just a literal dream, and then become a full stage production.
Yeah, so you're now a entrepreneur.
Yes,
You know?
yes, I am, and it's a scary word, but I'm really proud. I'm really proud of the work that we've put in.
Yeah. So you're in other shows at that theater currently,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And so let's just mention those briefly.
Yes. I am in Awesome 80s, Elvis, Story of a King, C.J. Newsom's classic country and comedy, and then, of course, Once Upon a Fairytale.
So you'll be in 4 shows.
4
I
shows.
didn't realize that. I mean, I knew you were in a couple, but I was like, I didn't realize it was that many.
I like to joke that I actually pay rent to Americana just to live there. So that's, and he's in the exact same boat. A lot of our performers are in multiple shows there.
Except they just give me a cage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and in some cases, you know, not every show is not necessarily going every day, and so that probably helps a little bit.
Yeah, to be honest, we are there 7 days a week. Yeah. So if it's not 80s, it's Elvis. If it's not Fairy Tale, it's CJ's. And then, of course, Matthew has classic rock icons, so there's that. We are there a lot. You will never not see us in that theater.
Yeah, and so if folks don't know where the theater is, it is right on West Highway 76, really close to, I guess, the Presleys.
Yeah.
But it's also if you go way back, it's almost like the old Mo Bandy Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, and before that, I think it was the Plummer Theater. I mean, it's been there a long, long time.
We get Tiffany in the morning a lot, or Jennifer in the morning. Jennifer in the morning. You get that a lot. People are like, I remember when I saw Jennifer in the morning here. I remember seeing Barry Williams here.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's got a long history.
It does.
But it's in a great location right on the strip as well. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stop here, and we're going to come back and talk in more detail about this new show. So stay tuned, folks. We'll be back in just a minute.
For the first time in forever, your family is cordially invited to this magical morning cabaret. Once Upon a Fairy Tale is for the young and young at heart, bringing to life your favorite Disney movies through song and dance. Get ready to be swept away on an enchanted journey as our talented cast of singers and dancers takes you through the entire catalog of your favorite Disney classics, including not only a dazzling stage production, family-friendly comedy, magical audience interaction, stunning costumes, and high-energy choreography. Once Upon a Fairy Tale will bring out your inner child, experiencing the charming nostalgia of these storybook tales once again. So please be our guest and join us at the Americana Theater in Branson, Missouri. Once Upon a Fairytale is performing now through September. For tickets and more information, call our box office at 417-544-8700 or visit onceuponafairytalebranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson. We are here today with Cadence Miller and Matthew Boyce. They are with a new show called Once Upon a Fairytale. I was going to say Once Upon a Time,
Yes.
but Once Upon a Fairytale. And so this show just opened May 17th.
Yes.
And so I'm going to guess there's a bunch of people out there that have no clue what this show is. And so this is your chance to tell us all about this show.
Well, lucky for you, I don't even know what it's about.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's start with what it's not, because a lot of common questions are things, is it a musical? Is there a storyline? Are we going to see characters? And the answer is no to all of those. So it is what we call a cabaret style or a concert style show. We have 3 guys and 3 girls, and we pay tribute to the music of Disney. As you can see, just even by our costumes today, these aren't Disney costumes. I'm not Elsa. He's not whoever you're dressed as. But we like to, I guess, allude to the songs that we're singing. We're doing it in our own style, but we go through the entire history. I don't know that there's a Disney movie that we don't cover. High energy choreography, lots of sparkle. Americana has an incredible stage setup, so our production design is amazing. So lots of flash, but it all gets down to just the singing and dancing of 6 great performers in Branson.
The really hard thing with putting together a show like this is, you think Disney, you think, oh, this is going to be a show for kids, or oh, it's going to be a bunch of princesses. We don't really know if we're going to get the, I don't know if our boys are going to like this show. This really, we put a lot of thought into this to make every single person in the family enjoy the show. Not only we touch on your favorite Disney classics, your princesses, your Elsa, your Anna, your, Rapunzel, Cinderella, but we get your Disney villains, we get your heroes, we get Hercules, we get Lion King, we bring in things like Pixar. And then, of course, for even like the moms and dads that grew up in the 80s and 90s and remember watching, Beauty and the Beast and Hercules and Little Mermaid when they came out, we bring in a lot of the classics even all the way back to, your really like what I call the Diamond Edition things. You really just get all of your classics there. So there's not a part in the show where you won't recognize something. We hit brand new stuff like Encanto. And
Yes.
So when you say Disney, though, it's everything that you're singing is from a Disney movie or show or something, correct?
Yes.
And Disney owns so much stuff,
Including Once Upon a Time, which that was a huge part in naming the show. I was like, oh, of course, Once Upon a Time. It's actually trademarked, but yes. We're very careful to not infringe on copyright or trademark, but just like any show that does these, we're just getting up there paying tribute to and not mimicking, not cutting any corners, but just like Matthew said, incorporating something for everybody to enjoy. We try to throw out some comedy in there, a little bit of magic. So something, and our box office lady, as we were leaving today, said, I'm coming at least for the costumes, like all the sparkle and the glamour. And so there's going to be something for everyone.
So, where do you guys get these costumes? I've always
I can't tell you the secret.
she made them.
I did. I sang to my little mice and they came and built my costumes.
Yeah,
No,
let's not go that far.
actually, with the costuming, one of my big pet peeves as a performer is going and seeing shows where I'm like, so-and-so wore that in another show, going on Amazon, and that's the first thing that pops up when you type in, whatever theme of the show it is. So we spent ungodly hours trying to find things that are unique, things that are modern. That's another thing that was a goal for us, is you're not going to see people in corseted, colonial, cheesy costumes. So we put in a lot of hours just for what we're wearing today.
I think it'd be hard to just even care for them. You just can't put that in a washer, I'm guessing.
Right. Yep. Lots of deodorant, lots of sanitizing spray. So.
It's great though.
Lots of sparkles on the floor.
So the show, kind of what I'm hearing you say is it's not just a kids show.
Correct.
It's a show for the whole family.
The whole family.
That the whole family will like and enjoy.
Branson's a huge town. There's lots of demographics all over Branson. And you got to have something for grandma, something for grandpa, something for mom, something for the 4-year-old. You got to have something for the whole family. And when you're looking at this, the kid needs something eye-catching. Kids wants to hear Encanto. They want to hear Frozen. Mom wants to hear Beauty and the Beast. Grandma remembers Snow White. And then you throw in the production and the lights and some cool dancing, some great, beautiful costumes. Cadence does a great job, choreographing and blocking these things to really make them eye-catching. So you never really have a dull moment for anybody.
Well, and even, obviously families and kids are our main demographic, but as somebody who's 30, doesn't have a family, this is the show I would go see. And I know I'm biased, and I'm a huge Disney nerd, but
My wife is Mickey Mouse, in the same way.
When we traveled in the off season to New York City, and the Broadway shows I wanted to go see were all Disney. I really think that it's going to appeal to everyone, even if you get drug along. Grumpy dad is sitting there like, oh, another princess. But there's absolutely, I can guarantee something for everyone that you're going to find just awesome to watch.
So, opening a new show, what is your biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge. Man. Hold on, let me get my list. I would say some of the biggest challenges would be first and foremost was finding performers in town that don't, like us, that aren't in 5 million shows. Finding a group of people who are willing to put a risk on a new show, because obviously that is a huge risk. And somebody who believes in me the way that I believe in my show is just a whole other story. And luckily I found Matthew and then 5 other people, including Chris Newsom, who said, absolutely, let's do it. Whatever we got to do, let's put our heart and soul into this. I'd say that was number one, but luckily it was an easy challenge.
Yeah. And I really think over at Americana, you guys have done in the last couple of years a lot of new shows and kind of pushing some of the musical selection a little more different and modern.
Yes.
Definitely. So you guys are going to be running through September 2nd.
Yes.
And so the time is 10 o'clock, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Yes.
So 3 days a week through September 2nd. So basically a summer run.
Yes. It's kind of our test run. Obviously with kids being out for school, we thought perfect time. You can squeeze us in right after breakfast or before you head off to Silver Dollar City. So we're excited to get going.
Yeah. Okay.
Not excited about the 10 a.m. as much, but we'll be awake and ready.
What did I miss? Is there anything that y'all want to say that I missed?
Something that we always say in our shows, but especially for a new show, is just word of mouth is huge for us. Social media especially is huge for us. So I invite everybody to go and follow up. We're going to really push our social medias to do behind the scenes and meet the cast and really let people in on the creative process of everything. So check us out on all of our social media and through our website.
And that is at Once Upon a Fairytale Branson on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
How about that? Are you surprised I knew that?
I am.
There you go, folks. There you go. Once Upon a Time Fairytale Branson on Instagram or Facebook. So you can catch them there. And you guys are already posting. I've already seen it.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lots of stuff, lots of pictures, lots of great. She does a great job graphic designing everything, and we really wanted to create some eye-catching graphics. So even when your son or daughter's going through and playing, watching YouTube videos, or whatever, they see something. Oh, mom and dad, we want to see something like that. So really, really eye-catching stuff.
Okay, folks, be sure to catch this new show out at Americana Theater going now through September 2nd. I think, is that right? Did I get it right?
Yes.
September 2nd. And so limited engagement through the first season and all throughout this summer at 10 o'clock. And so go check it out. We'll be back in just a second to wrap PlayBranson up. Hey folks, welcome back to the show. We're wrapping it up. On next week's show, we're actually going to have Matthew Boyce back with Elvis Story of a King, and we're going to talk about that show. And so we want to thank Cadence and Matthew for talking to us about Once Upon a Fairytale. We want to thank them for coming out. It does play at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays through September 2nd. It's at the Americana Theater. You can catch them there. You can also catch them on other shows there at the Americana Theater, like Awesome 80s. So you'll want to check them out at some of those other shows as well. You can get more information at ibranson.com, or you can call those folks at 877 to help plan your entire vacation. I do like to tell you things that are coming up that are special events here in the Branson area. So here we go. Starting on May 26th, we've got Hairball with special guest Moark Mojo at Black Oak Amphitheater. Matt Gum on May 27th over at Clay Cooper doing his special show there. In June 3rd, we've got Travis Tritt with Corey Kent out at Black Oak Amphitheater, followed by that same day, June 3rd, Michael W. Smith over at Silver Dollar City. 36 number one hits, 15 million records sold. June 3rd through July 16th. We also have the summer celebration out at Silver Dollar City with Nick Lawenda's Xerxes. He does crazy stuff, folks. You got to check that out. June 7th, the Grand Ladies of Country over at Nashville Roadhouse Live. June 22nd, we've got the High School Musical Junior down at the Owens Theater. And then June 30th, Chris Jansen over at Black Oak Amphitheater as well. And then July 1st, Stone Temple Pilots, first time I think they've been in the area. Followed by, on July 16th, Craig Morgan over at Clay Cooper's Theater. July 17th, Jeff Foxworthy. If you ever heard any redneck joke, it was probably told originally by Jeff Foxworthy. And then we have on August 18th, Justin Moore and Scotty McCreery with Avery Anna out at Black Oak Amphitheater, followed by Nelly on August 19th. If you like rap and that type of thing, go there. Now, if you're an 80s fan, you'll want to check out on August 23rd, Live Loud Tour with Tom Kiefer, used to be in Cinderella, and Winger are going to be out there on those dates. Followed by August 24th, September 4th, Southern Gospel Picnic out at Silver Dollar City, and they have tons of performers out there. Be sure to check out Silver Dollar City's website for that. And then lots of things coming up in September with Jimmy Fortune, Gene Watson, the Oak Ridge Boys. So lots of special events coming up. We'll see you next week on PlayBranson, and be sure to like us on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you soon.